Folks have been hearing about the huge deficit that Boston is running in FY26. And this week, Boston put a final number on what the gap between what was budgeted and what the city needs to spend to have a balanced budget was. It's $70 million. We know that thanks to a supplemental appropriation that Mayor Wu filed on Monday. And that supplemental appropriation attracted this headline. And so that fiscal mismanagement line, that comes from Boston Policy Institute. And I want to talk a little bit about why BPI thinks that there is serious fiscal mismanagement questions being raised by this appropriation. The $70 million in this supplemental appropriation is just a fraction of the total amount of money that Boston overspent. So how do we know that? The city of Boston has actually reported $160 million in overspending, and that comes from two places. So number one, that comes from Boston Public Schools, which reported a $49 million deficit in December of 2025, and they updated that to a $53 million deficit in January 2026, right? So that's $53 million. Second, in March, Ashley Grafenberger, the city's CFO, she sent a letter to the city council announcing that the city hall also had a deficit. Now that deficit totaled out to $48 million, but that's because they did a little bit of math. If we look at the chart here, what we see is $107 million worth of overspending in snow, in police overtime, and in execution of courts. And then also permits and licenses missed their forecast. It was $7 million under forecast. And so all of that adds up to 107. But there's actually one more element that we haven't gotten a cost on, and that is health insurance on the city side. Now in BPS, we know that health insurance is $18 million over, but we don't know what that number is in City Hall. The city has repeatedly pointed to a spike in health insurance cost as driving this deficit, but they haven't actually put a dollar figure on it. And that is a big red flag, right? We already know there's $160 million and then there's some amount on top of it. This bigger deficit and how the city dealt with it and when the city found out about it is going to be really important in the upcoming council hearing on these supplemental appropriations. The city council needs to understand exactly what happened inside City Hall and why the city thinks it won't happen again in FY27. Those hearings are coming up, so stay tuned.